What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. We are here for part 2 of our Madden 21 realistic rebuild of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you missed the first episode, well, 8-8 is almost automatic. It feels like here in Madden 21 in my franchise. Like I was just going through my Excel sheet that I keep track of all the notes. So, I'm not redrafting players and stuff like that in my rebuilds. And like I'm 8-8 like 75% of the time. Like it's kind of ridiculous, but the big move was we were able to make a trade sending James Washington and a pick to the Jets to get Sam Darnold to be our new quarterback. We fixed his number at 14, so now he's repping it, and hey, looked pretty damn good to close out the season. Ben Roethlisberger's still on the roster. We can't get out of that ugly contract, which is kind of annoying because we are a little bit of a we're kind of strapped for cash. But, yeah, we're here at the draft. I am having second regrets with giving James Conner a new contract extension. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm like, man, we could have probably went with Benny Snell as our running back and then used that James Conner money to re-sign really almost anybody, especially when you look on the defensive side of the ball. We definitely need to get a little bit better here. But Dupree's gone. That's a tough one. Joe Hayden's gone. That's a tough one. And we're pretty much open to discussion here for who should we draft at pick 17. And I was reading through it, and I had a personal preference that it should be narrowed down to two people, and it definitely was the two most popular names that that were coming up in the comments. One was looking at Virginia Tech corner Caleb Farley, legit first-rounder, scheme fit, 6'2", 4.45 speed, looks pretty damn good. The other option was on the defensive line, Jay Tefele from USC. Looks like a legitimate beast. The 3-cone, the 20, the 40 is exactly what he wants. 6'3", 315. He can play nose tackle, technically, I guess, in this scheme. Even though I firmly believe if this actually happened in real life, he'd be a defensive end. But the reality of it is that in this Pittsburgh Steelers front, our current nose tackle is like 300 pounds. 315 is a lot bigger build. And then once the end of the Cam Hayward era comes to an end, like once he retires, you can slide Tefele back over to defensive end, which is where I think he would thrive in this Pittsburgh Steelers front. And I actually thought it was going to be Farley, being the guys you guys want to see. But given the fact that, there is a couple guys in the second and third round that I would absolutely like. We got Joe Horn's kid. J.C. Horn looks legit. Eric Stokes in the third round would be a really, really good pick. You guys want me to go with Jay Tefele at a USC. I do not hate that pick. So without further ado, at pick 17 in the 2021 draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Jay Tefele, number 26 in true value. A little bit of a reach, but we got the hidden dev trait. 73 hidden dev. I think I think when we get a little bit closer to the 2021 draft process, I think he's going to be one of the big risers. Right now, he's considered, a bubble second first rounder, but he's unreal, man. He's absolute, like, if in terms of, like, if you took me any players that could potentially be like a 3-4 defensive end in college football, he is the biggest game wrecker of all the guys that are currently in college. So that is an outstanding pick here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's get into the second round. All right, here in the second round, there actually are a couple interesting picks. I'm looking at, like, what are we going to replace now? Now it's on the defense. So I think we got to continue to go on the defense. Even though we could use a left tackle, who do we really have at left tackle? We didn't scout anybody. We have Ben Petrula out of Boston College as our top get. Falele out of Minnesota, massive human being. But there's just, Alaric Jackson, maybe. Late third round talent. So I guess technically we'll throw him into the mix. Alaric Jackson at tackle could make a lot of sense. We also need to replace Bud Dupree. So we have Chris Rumpf II out of Duke, who's an early third rounder. We have Joe Tryon from Washington, early third rounder. We have on the other side Shaka Toney, who's really solid out of Penn State, late third rounder. We could wait into the third round. And Asai from Texas, also really good. But at corner, we still have a really, really intriguing corner here in Eric Stokes out of Georgia. Let me get another look here at the depth chart. Like, what do our corners look like? Do we have anyone that can, like... Highsmith, I mean, we could probably survive with Highsmith. At least, like, in terms of second round, if we can't get one of those edge rushers on the swing of things, we could probably rock and roll with Highsmith. I'm a little bit more concerned about the ages here. Hilton got a new contract, but Nelson and is Lane. And then at tackle, when you look at the tackle situation, we have a core 4 is a 65. Jesus. Well, Dodson here, we could slide to left guard now. He could be the starter at left guard. I think there's some upside there for sure. Tremendous run blocker coming out of Louisiana. But yeah, we need tackle. I think we have to go Alaric Jackson. The more and more I look at it, the more and more we're going to get another Canadian. They have Mapletron. Let's get another Canadian here. Let's get Alaric Jackson. 67 hidden. Oh my God, we got the dev trade. Oh, I can already see the comments. C4 using this draft. I swear on my child, I did not know he had a dev trade. Oh yeah, I'm getting these ratings shuffled. Awesome. Awesome. So draft recap time. I mean, obviously getting 2 hidden dev traits is exceptional here in the first 2 rounds. Jake Tufele and Alaric Jackson. Outside that though, my draft kind of came back down to earth with just bang on average players. We got Adam Anderson, the former 5-star recruit out of Georgia, 64. He's going to be, actually, let's move him to a right outside linebacker to make him more of a scheme fit. But I guess there is some depth there in case there is an injury, as we are going to be gambling that Highsmith, right? Alex Highsmith out of Charlotte will be able to pull up, seal the deal. We got Jimmy Morrissey out of Pitt, local kid to get depth behind Pouncey. We got Michael Turk, who actually, I don't think I've ever seen it before. It's probably just because weird, everything's COVID and all that stuff. Declared for the 2020 draft, then just somehow, went undrafted and then got to go back to school. So sure, and his dad was quite a good punter back in the day. I think it was his dad, could be his uncle or something like that. It's in the family. Punting's in the bloodline. And then the final round here, we got Corey Bethley, who is going to be more of a defensive end in our scheme. I'll just slide him right out to a right end. See if his rating goes up. He's a 62. Moving to right end, goes from that to, he stays about the same, which makes sense. So overall, though, really solid draft. Hopefully, Alaric Jackson and Tufele establish themselves as long-term fixtures on this Steelers team. All right, so as we start the season, we're at 81 overall. And on the offense here, no real crazy changes. It's pretty much as is. I would say a top priority for me this year, though, will be getting Claypool a dev trade. I hope to God, because he's sitting there on a normal. He's going to get plenty of looks. We have an opportunity, because let's be honest, so far throughout this 2020 NFL season, he should absolutely not be a normal dev trade. I did make amends. A lot of people did say that if you're a Steeler fan, you're a big fan of Zach Banner. I'm not sure what's the story behind it particularly, but we brought him in from USC, cut him, and people were like, man, how'd you get rid of Zach Banner? We'll bring him back. Had depth, had a couple spots open on the team, and he was still there on free agency. I did move Jalen Samuels, who was a weapon in college at NC State. I moved him to tight end just so we had a little bit better depth behind Eric Ebron. We don't really need him in the running back room with Snell and McFarland there. And then flipping on the defense, I guess we should say Alaric Jackson will be our starting left tackle. And then looking at the defense, Tufele there at nose tackle, Hayward and Tuitt linebacking core looks pretty solid. I think Vince Williams actually went up a dev trait. Is that one of those random? Yeah, it's one of those random linebacker dev traits where he did nothing, had 17 regression, and still gets a star dev. So, beggars can't be choosers. And I'm still very much considering, if we can find a strong safety in one of the upcoming drafts, moving Edmonds into middle linebacker and pairing him with Devin Bush. I think that actually would be kind of crazy. And there we go. In our secondary here, Hilton, we got Nelson and Lane. I was able to get Amadi as a free agent, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks and Oregon Ducks. So, I mean, it's still a really, really stellar defense. Offensively, yeah, let's see how, the first true year of the Sam Darnold era can go. And hopefully, both Darnold and Claypool can find themselves some dev traits this season. All right, so let's sim this game here, week 1 against Denver. And I feel like if we can get on a little bit of win, I'm going to play one of those divisional games, week 2, 3, or 4 against the Bengals, Browns, or Ravens. But if we can get a little bit of win streak going on, let the sim do its thing, ride the hot hand. Let's see if we start with Denver. And week 1 against the Denver Broncos, we lost 21-17. We did get some nice upgrades there that I will spend in just a second, but we'll play that week 2 game. We gotta find a way to get some momentum on this season. I don't want to start 0-2. And analyzing this matchup, this defeat, it was just our defense falling short. Drew Lock, Darnold didn't really dominate, but it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't like he had multiple turnovers. Drew Lock just had a stellar performance, 3 touchdowns on the day. James Conner, a little disappointing, especially given how, cap-stricken we are and how much money we gave to him for Benny Snell to vulture a touchdown there. Dante Johnson, 83 yards. We got 33 and a touchdown for Juju on the defensive side. Couple TFLs there. Tufele, 2 TFLs, was maybe the best defender, which is great. Seeing immediate dividends from our first-round draft pick. Jackson had a rough day. Everyone on the O-line, pretty much outside of Pouncey, gave up a sack. Need to be better than that, man. So let's hop into this week 2 matchup against the Bengals. Burrow versus Darnold. And let's try to get our first dub of the season. Now, right there. That is me trying to force it to Mapletron because I'm a Canadian biased asshole. Absolutely just in my mind. I was like, I'm going to Mapletron. And that put my team in a bad spot. I can't let that happen again. All right, we're trying to bail out our defense here, or our offense. All right, we're trying to bail out the offense here. Come on! Oh, we just got absolutely embarrassed. Tyler Boyd just sunned. I don't know who that was. Nelson, probably? Mike Hilton? Nelson? It probably was Nelson. That's not good. That's not good at all. But it all started because terrible interception. Make up for it. Make up for it on the slants, please, love. Why are you not that much faster? Oh, he is. He is that much faster. Thank you. It took a slants to do it, but it makes up for that pick. And all is right in the world. 48 yards, Claypool. All right, this is pretty much all we need James Conner for, essentially. Short yardage back if we have to, even though we paid him like a 3-down back. This is where you have to get him, and there we go. Roughing the passer puts us right up there. Sam Hubbard injury. That's a tough one. That's like one of their best young edge rushers on the Bengals. So there we go. Let's pull ahead in the second half here. Let's just make it impossible there for generic hipster guy to not have a chance in the second half. Oh, that's just terrible run defense. Joe Mixon goes in untouched. A pulse for the Bengals in the second half. We're on the 17th. It's a close game. 24-21. Bengals will just not go away. So we're going to have to dig deep in our bag of tricks. We have not really established a run whatsoever. I don't know if that's just me wanting to force the issue that, hey, Darnold's our quarterback. He's good. Watch this. I can outduel anybody. But 3rd and 1 here. Probably best to... let's just get the... That should have been an easy catch and grab. Tomlin, always aggressive, wants to go for it. All right. 4th and 2 on the 14. Do your jobs. Do your jobs. Everyone does their job. James Conner, gain of 10. Look at the wheels. Look at the wheels. The wheels, ladies and gentlemen, on Samothy Darnold. Here we go. He had shit all for yards, but 2 touchdowns. A happy day for James Conner fantasy owners, as Pittsburgh is surely going to get their first win of the season here in week 2 against the Bengals. All right, looks like we're playing back-to-back because if I have a scenario for Mr. Claypool, I'm not going to let it be squandered. 100 yards? I shit out 100 yards with Claypool. We can force feed him here. Week 3 again, and it's the Browns. That's actually like a huge matchup for us to try to go in. And in regards to the division. So let's get a point here for Johnson, going up to an 82 overall. Solid deep threat, even though I'm probably more inclined to put him in the slot. Whatever works. Pretty much, be honest. Pittsburgh, if you're a wide receiver on the Steelers, and unless you're like Martavis Bryant, where you just keep sabotaging yourself, you're gonna be good. And this is actually a big opportunity to continue to pull further ahead of a team that's a perennial dominant team in the AFC in the Cleveland Browns. 0-3 for the Browns is like unheard of. So we already are tied for first, sit atop the AFC North. Let's play this week 3 game 2 back-to-back. Try to get Claypool that star dev and try to go to 2-1 and remain top of the division before that big week 4 matchup against the Ravens. Oh my God! Mapletron, everybody! Mapletron! Is that good? Ooh, that looks pretty good to me. Looks like you got both toes in. All right, Ebron. All right, Ebron. All right, we got Claypool 3rd and 1 on the 7. Tied up at 7s across the board. We get this touchdown here for Claypool. He goes up dev trait. Gotta wait. Why did he slow down? If he would have kept running across the field, he had his guy beat. He wants to go for it, 4th and 1. Don't hate it. Claypool there in the slants. His first touchdown wasn't a slant, so I feel like I'm allowed to just throw this one to him. He could even get open. Doesn't get open, and there's a nice forced fumble because Myles Garrett is easily the best player in Madden 21. All right. That 100? That very well might be our 100 yards for Claypool. So now we can just focus on winning. at 100? The stats. What are the stats? Please say we're at 100. Because it's pretty much 80. Goddamn. Okay, we need more. We need more. Old school Steelers football, no chance. Tied this one back up. All right, our defense actually held him to a field goal. We have a chance to win. All right. For the love of God, keep Myles Garrett off our quarterback. Can we fit that in behind? That would have been a tough catch. Go Claypool. There's a big catch and run. Come on, need a touchdown, 1-point victory. We got it in us. Yeah, there you go. That was apparently as far as Darnold could throw it. He has like 91 throw power, so that sucks. But hey, we got Claypool a dev trait, which is easily unfortunately for Matt, that's almost more important. Long term for this team, Claypool getting a dev trait is more important than beating the Browns in week number 3. Because when it comes down, okay, it would have been nice to get both, but if you told me right now at this menu, I would be 2-1 with no dev trait for Claypool, or 1-2 with a dev trait for Claypool. I'm taking Claypool every day of the week, plus 20,000 XP. Yeah, let's go. Claypool gets 3 points, so he's going to be going up into the 80s of overalls. And he's actually very close to getting up another point. Should be, 82 after this upcoming divisional rivalry game against the Baltimore Ravens. But an 81, this guy here, plus 4 catching. My God. Mapletron is an absolute monster. So here, week 4, home game against the Baltimore Ravens. Let's get an idea here of scouting. I mean, for positional scouting, I did start on strong safety because I am, for whatever reason, still very interested. Still very interested about the idea of potentially switching Edmonds to middle linebacker. And that's actually, we got 2 solid players, Gaines of Bama, Vance from Florida State. Other than that, I mean, we could also look at big free safeties like this guy, Overton, 6'1", 222. That's a nice value. 5'9", Cohen out of Central Florida. That also could fit. This guy out of Jones. Yeah. Really, we could scout. I'm going to get Green. I'm not going to worry about first round because I wouldn't be grabbing something like that. But I'll get Green and Jones both scouted. Just to kind of, guys that could potentially switch into strong safety there. Outside of that, corners where we want to go. If I could have one thing that I notice in trends in the Madden Generate draft classes is that for every draft class that has incredibly disappointing offensive linemen, you usually can stack up on corners and defensive tackles fairly easily. That was another reason why it made some more sense to go Jay Tufele in the first round of the 2021 draft versus, say, Caleb Farley, the corner, because corners kind of grow on trees in the Madden Generate draft class. But I also, I want to look at corner. I think if an edge rusher presents itself, absolutely. I think we can continue to get younger on the defensive line. I mean, we have Hayward, right? Hayward's getting up there in age. So Tufele can only take one of the 2 spots, either nose tackle or Hayward. So we need another guy on the D-line, which I feel comfortable that once we get some scouting on D-tackle, we should be good. It's going to be a waste of scouting points because 90% of the time these guys are all garbage, but we will see if we can find a diamond in the rough on the offensive line. I think we could potentially look at a tight end as well, but as it comes to wide receivers, offensive skill position players, we're probably pretty good. So let's get through this game here. Week 4 against the 1-2 Baltimore Ravens. It's actually quite the tough schedule, and we win 35-16 with Vince Williams, a man that we're just talking about replacing. 10 tackles and 3 sacks. Was not going to let Lamar do a goddamn thing. That's beautiful. We got the 1-3 football team of Shine Vauchon. Okay, whatever. A Green Bay Packers game here. Let's go right to the bye. And against Green Bay. Okay, it's not what we were looking for. Let's continue to scout real quickly here. I want to get the free safeties done. Jones. It's like garbage. Corners, I guarantee out of the first 5, we're going to get some first rounders. First rounder, 5th, second rounder, 4th, 3rd. I mean, I could technically just be bailing when you see the C+. Whatever, just get the scouting done. We have 2 legit first-round corners here. McCord out of Alabama, scheme fit. Golden out of Mississippi State, early first-rounder. Not necessarily a scheme fit, but, I'd throw him to the Wolves. Browning is an early second-rounder, another scheme fit. So 3 corners right there. Easy as that. Looks pretty goddamn appealing. I'm not spending any skill points. You guys don't deserve to get a boost to their overall. Oh my God. A breakout scenario again for Chase Claypool. Now, this one's going to have to be on the sim, even though I guarantee there's Steelers fans hoping that I would go in and get him a superstar dev trade because the hype is real for Mapletron, and it'd be fitting for him to get it against the Megatron team and the Detroit Lions. But let's see what the young buck can do, man. 150 yards, somewhat achievable. 2-4 lines ahead of the bye week. And in this game, he probably didn't. Let's see, weekly awards. Hilton had 2 picks. Yeah, I'm going to say he probably didn't get it, but we'll take a gander here. And he did not get it done. Unfortunately, no double dev traits yet. I will say right now, I'll make a promise. If another dev trait scenario comes up for Claypool, like the game, Madden is just begging me to go him up to a superstar dev, I will hop in and play that one yet again. So we are here at the bye. Let's do a little bit more scouting. Get a couple more out the ways. For corners, no. Let's be a little bit more conscientious with our points here. Unless there's something that immediately jumps out off the board that we want to scout. There's Claiborne, looks solid. Red looks solid. You know, you're pretty much looking for something that starts with a B. If it looks at a B, you could probably dip your head. It doesn't always work, like this guy's butt cheeks. But at least we got a couple corners here. A couple late round picks that get early third. And we got a mid third. So look, those are 2 really nice options that could fill in as some depth players on the back end of our secondary. We will go here to the Texans, and we will look at contracts. I'm a little bit nervous. Kind of been putting it off here because I have no idea what our salary cap's going to look like. All right. Well, DeCastro, looking for a 1-year deal. We have $86 million. We have some wiggle room there. Got to pretty much re-sign TJ Watt. Of course, he wants more money. Would like Pouncey on a 1-year deal. All right, now absolutely nobody wants to return here. I feel like this might be a spot we have to save some money on. Jalen Samuels could probably stay as tight end. 76, he's 25. I don't know. What about Edmonds? Start with Edmonds first. Can we get a reasonable contract here for our hopefully future middle linebacker? Okay, we got him. Will Samuels take like a 4-year deal? Wants more money. All right, I mean, I don't blame these guys. Everyone wants to get paid. Nelson on a 1-year. Got him locked up. We got to prioritize these first 3. For sure. DeCastro, Watt, and Pouncey. Especially when you're dealing in $100+ million for TJ Watt. Let's get these 3 guys locked up next week. Week 9, handle business against the Houston Texans. 31 points. We got 2 picks. Mike Hilton, who's been on fire. Absolute fire. We have 2 breakout scenarios. One got to be for Mike Hilton. Yeah, it is. Because he has 3, 4, 5 picks. Somewhere in that range over the last couple weeks. So he has a potential chance to go up dev trade, which is right. So I think Mike Hilton's one of the most underrated corners in the NFL, especially for a slot corner. James Conner, potential here. A lot on the line. Week 10 against the Minnesota Vikings. 2 superstar dev trades up for grabs. And it's a huge matchup anyways. 5-3, 5-3. Let's just get this out of the way. And then week 11, we will try to negotiate some of our contracts here. Able to win. Got another weekly award. Deion Bush, 2 interceptions. This is a scary defense. Mike Hilton had a pretty quiet game. Okay, that's disappointing. I thought with only 13 points given up to the Minnesota Vikings, we had a chance. Absolutely no chance for James Conner going up dev trade, which I knew was pretty much expected. So let's get back to these contracts here. As we have, another chance. Devin Bush going to go up to a superstar dev. Everyone's kind of feeling themselves right now within the Steelers organization that they're going to be able to take their game to another level. Well, we'll start with DeCastro here. He wants a little bit more money. It's kind of deserved. He's a really, really solid guard. Something like that. All right, beautiful. Let's get Pouncey. He wants a little bit more salary. Maybe $5.5 million. Come back for 1 year. Run it back. Thank you very much. TJ Watt needs actually a little bit more money. We'll do the same thing. +5. And we'll give you something like that. 6-year, $126 million. The big 3 are re-signed. Now the big question does come here at tight end. There's a 3-year age gap. I really don't feel like Samuels... I don't want to say I really don't feel like it, but he's not really a tight end. Give you like a 2-year deal. Will you take that? I'll give you +2. You can continue to be... Okay, we got him. All right, so we're going to let Ebron walk. It's the end of an era for Ben Roethlisberger. And, I mean, that's actually not unreasonable amount of money if Williams wants to take that because, he's a lifelong Steeler. So there we go. Handled our business here in terms of our in-house free agents. Able to nab a victory week 11 over the Raiders. Unfortunately, still another dev trait scenario missed as we sit here at 7-3. All right, well, we lost to the Jets. That's something you never really want to see. Battle of the 7-4 here. Steelers and Bengals. I just don't want a late season collapse, Let's just win the games we're supposed to win. And there we go. We handle business 31-21. Have upgrades here for a bunch of our bench guys. Winnable matchup against the Bears. I will show you some pretty cool scouting. Again, confident that there was always going to be good D tackles. Look at this, man. We got a first rounder in the second round, a couple twos in the fourth round, a third in the fifth, a sixth rounder with a first round grade, Devontae Jacobs out of Rice, as well as being a scheme fit. So scouting has very much been going my way, but we might as well, not exclude guys who are 3-4 defensive ends. A couple here, and they're actually all generally looking fairly solid. Oh, give me more of that. What about left end? What do we got at left end? Not touching anyone that's under. Oh, Roman Hubbard out of Georgia. Early second round grade. Going in the fifth. We will be able to get Barton. We'll be able to get maybe Bullard just to have a couple first rounders on the board. But my God, really, really good scouting here so far for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 14 against the Bears. We lose in a shootout. Up in here. 37-31. It went to overtime. An overtime loss. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to swallow. Darnold had a couple turnovers. Not helping the team. Claypool had 2 touchdowns. Which looks, look at Edmonds. He's ready to move the linebacker. Watt had a sack. A pick from Nelson. That's a tough one. That's a tough loss at this point in the season. Cool. 9 is better than 8-8. I thought for sure we'd finish 8-8. 9-7. Got ourselves a spot in the playoffs. You can't ask for much more than that. How did we get here? Well, we had 2 hidden dev traits. Alaric Jackson came out star dev. Not surprising. Defensively, Jay Tefele came out star dev. Cool. Well, I know in my original file, I gave him superstar dev, so glad to know it got nerfed. Not for sure I had a superstar dev there for Tefele, but okay, nice surprise every now and again. It's kind of what we're going for. So let's look statistically. 3rd place in the AFC North. How did we get here? Well, Darnold was about as automatic as a quarterback seems to be in Madden 21. That is as bang on average of a Madden 21 season as you're going to get from a quarterback in the sim. 37 yards, 28 touchdowns, 13 picks. Run the ball under 1,000 yards for James Conner. That's a little bit disappointing. 8 touchdowns there. Vultured from Benny Snell. Receiving, we had over 1,000 yards for Juju and 8 touchdowns. 1,007 for Claypool. 7 and 8 for Dante Johnson. Those are actually, I'm fine with those numbers. That's actually easily the best part of this rebuild, looking at the stats so far. Defensively, over 100 tackles there for Vince Williams. 4 TFLs, 6 sacks. We have over 100 tackles. 10 TFLs, 4 picks for Devin Bush. 7 interceptions for Mike Hilton. 3 for Justin Lane. That'd be nice if he could develop into something special. 10 sacks, TJ Watt. 6 for Hayward. I mean, obviously the front's not that amazing. Tefele, our first round pick, finished with 40 tackles, 10 TFLs, and 4.5 sacks. 26 offense in the NFL. Obviously want to be better than that. Defensively, 13th. Yearly awards MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. In the AFC, Mahomes. Do we have any? Let's just see if we have any Steelers anywhere. Myles Garrett was there. Devin Bush, number 4 for Defensive Player of the Year. Mike Hilton at 8. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Trevor Lawrence. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Unruzuriki, DN from Washington, I think. Tefele was a runner-up at 2. Adam Anderson at 9. Best QB went to Mahomes. Best running back, Derrick Henry. James Conner coming in at 7. Best wide receiver went to N'Keal Harry with the Juju at 9. For lineman, DeCastro at 4. Glad we got his contract situated. Myles Garrett was the D lineman. Linebacker, probably Bush should be on here somewhere. Number 6 was Bush. Best DB better than Mike Hilton, which it is. Give that man a dev trade increase, which I know he won't because it's bugged. And you don't get the dev trade increases at corner for interceptions. I mean, I guess people always want to see just the season. So let's just kind of see who was the monster. Newton had the most passing yards. Most touchdowns went to Drew Brees with 42. Most rushing yards probably went to Zeke, which it did. Most touchdowns went to Sony Michel. Most receiving yards, my God, N'Keal Harry. Pretty terrifying. Touchdowns with the Jarvis Landry with 16. Any lineman pitch a shutout here? No sacks? No one. Defensively, Deion Jones led the league in tackles. Sacks goes to the most unstoppable player in Madden. Like, he is. I don't think you could even make an argument about who the most overpowered player is in Madden dating back for like the last 3 years. It's always Myles Garrett. It's always him. Darnold had 21 TFLs. Mike Hilton led the league with 7 interceptions. He was 7 interceptions, led the league, DB of the year. For the love of God, give this man a superstar dev trait come the end of this season. That's all I'm asking for you, please. It's not asking for much. So we got a wild card round here. It's only year 2, so I think for this scenario, we will just kind of Papa Bear it. We won't just straight up sim it. Things get a little shenanigan-y. We will hop in, but it's just far too early for me to just go in and go on a playoff run where I control the team and try to win the Super Bowl. So we should be able to handle them, man. They're 11-5 Jets. Jets are a meme right now in the NFL. All right, here at MetLife. I just don't think they should be able to, do a whole lot to us. Defensively, our defense is better than theirs. Offensively, our offense is better than theirs. I just don't see where the advantage is. So far, Jets get 2 field goals. We get the 1 touchdown, a 1-point lead here in the first half, which I'm more than fine with. Defense is doing an exceptional job. Our offense is failing to capitalize. Come on, Darnold, you're going against your former team. Have some goddamn initiative here to take this game over. Please and thank you. We have to settle for a field goal. I'm about ready to come in. I'm going to make this first down. That's what I do. I think that's fair. Making this first down, if I can. I'm acting like I'm automatic. This is on like rookie or pro. I might be automatic. But it's on all pro. So who knows? Ebron wide open. There we go. There's the push you need. We have 40 pass attempts for Darnold. Not 1 touchdown yet. Here we go. They finish up 17-17. We had the last chance there to win it. We have the last chance. 1:10 to go, and we punt it back. We don't deserve to win this game. Absolutely do not deserve to win this game. Give me my L because my team sucks. Thank you very much. Awful. Absolutely awful. I can't believe we just got handled by Trevor Lawrence and the Jets. Awesome. Well, Pro Bowl here. Let's see if we've anyone featured. Not looking great. Not looking great at all. The Castro right guard. Nice. Mike Hilton, 7 interceptions gets you. Unless that's just them properly putting him as slot, because corner 3 is slot. 7 picks should not be corner 3. I will maybe have a hot take there. Edmonds making it strong safety. First Pro Bowl appearance for him. McFarland, sure, punt returner. It's always nice to have a couple special teamers here. Let's go to the Super Bowl. It's the Saints and the Chiefs. A pretty nice looking Super Bowl here. I could actually let me get some scouting. Let me get a tad bit more scouting here. Finish up on the defensive line. Let's be honest. I'm not overly concerned about wasting my scouting on the linemen that we have here. Tight ends. Tight end could actually be worth it. What do we got? Some studs? Any studs here? Not really. Well, there's 2 appropriate looking guys that we could potentially draft. We got any legit first rounders at the offensive line? Probably not either. So, Super Bowl 56. Who's going to be the winner? Saints or Chiefs? I'm going to say Saints. And it's the Kansas City Chiefs, 24-21. Which now we are here at the offseason. Re-sign time. We're going to let Ebron walk. I don't know if that's a smart decision or not, going with Mr. Jalen Samuels as our tight end, but it's kind of what needs to happen as we set up free agency, where we have $30 million. So that's actually where we'll end this one. I'll go get some ideas, get a short list for free agency. You guys can let me know who we should potentially draft. I got some messages here that I got to check. Okay. But dev traits. Mike Hilton is the one I really want to key on. But let's see if anyone with their performance went up a dev trait. And on the offensive side of the ball, unfortunately, it's looking pretty barren. We can make Claypool our wide receiver 2. No one went up a dev trait here. Defensively, I swear to God, I'm closing my eyes. If Mike Hilton's still a silver, I'm going to be very upset. Well, Highsmith went up dev trait. Highsmith went up dev trait for his... I'm not going to complain, but for 50 tackles, 4 TFLs, 2 picks, went up dev trait. It helps our team for sure. Now, maybe we don't have to grab an edge rusher because we can just gamble that he will develop from that dev trait. damn it. Such a stupid game. Such a stupid game. All right, so to get a look here, if we want to continue to potentially consider Edmonds as a middle linebacker, there are some guys that we could get. I wouldn't hate Harrison or Justin Reed at safety. Both those guys would actually already present upgrades, and then we could freely move Edmonds to middle linebacker. Corner could potentially be a spot. I don't really want to, we already have the $100 million contract of Watt, so I think Alexander might be a little bit out of our price range. So, second tier options, Hughes is not bad. At least he has a star dev trait. Wouldn't be overly, ooh. If Highsmith didn't go up dev, I think Harold Landry might have been a top guy, but $82 million is also a lot of money. You got, the whole, train of thought is like you're paying Watt to compensate that you don't have to have an expensive option on the other side at defensive end. Van Der Esch would be a nice upgrade. Why is it only $30 million? Why is his contract so cheap? I absolutely might just get Van Der Esch. Keep Evans where he is. $30 million. That is a ridiculous contract. That is cheaper. We'll have Edmonds made a Pro Bowl at strong safety. I absolutely think Van Der Esch. What happened to that contract? $30 million? I'd pay him $40 million. So, looking at the D-line here, it's not much. Offensive line, ooh. We do need a right tackle. McGlinchey's there, even though we did sign him in a rebuild not too long ago. That looks pretty obvious to me. Holton Miller, if we want to try something different, we could bring Villanueva back, but I could totally get on board with that. Mike McGlinchey and Van Der Esch are looking pretty juicy. At tight end, if we wanted to get a little bit of a younger option here. That's within the same ballpark. Njoku's an 83, 26 star, no bids on him. We have Dallas Goedert, 85 star, no bids on him. We get Auden Tate if we really want to, move him to tight end. It worked in the Bengals rebuild. Yeah, man. There's some legit options here. I think Njoku at tight end, kind of, him or Goddard. He's a year younger, though. So, let me know. Let me know where you want to spend our money. We only have $30 million, but there's options at tight end. McGlinchey there at tackle is very interesting, and sure as hell Van Der Esch at middle linebacker is interesting. So let me know in the comment section below what free agents we should try and bring in here for the Pittsburgh Steelers rebuild, and I will go with what you guys think as a community would be best for this series. That'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4. Say peace out, and thanks for watching.